You know who it is, and you know what time it is. Time to piss off some feminists, trad cucks, and whoever don't want to know the truth. Oh well, let's get started.
What is going on, gents? It's RPM here. And I have to ask this question in all seriousness. When are we men going to finally say enough is enough? Examples will be made. Now, this whole Brett Kavanaugh situation and the 13-year-old boy who got Me Too'd in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. And Raging Golden Eagle just did a story that I listened to last night about a plumber who was starting to serve a 50-year prison sentence. When the fuck are we men going to finally say no more? Hell, you had a state senator or congresswoman, whoever the fuck she was, that bitch in Hawaii, say on national TV, men need to shut up and step up, i.e., listen and believe. And you had that fucking cuck behind her start bowing his head and grinning. Now, I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday in the gym, and we started discussing these topics. Now, mind you, there was a group of women around. And I said to him, and I made sure that I was loud enough to where all of those women could hear me. And I said, this is what I would do if I found myself on the wrong side of a false sexual crime accusation. The woman who accused me, I would end her life. Period, point blank. Now he was like, man, that's kind of extreme. I said, listen, so many women have ruined men just by a sheer accusation, and nothing happened to them. They get to go about their life like nothing ever happened. There was a guy who drunkenly hooked up with a woman. They had sex. The next day, she called rape because she didn't want to be viewed as a whore. The guy did 4 years in prison. And then all of a sudden, after she got married and had a couple of kids, she decided to grow a conscience. No, fuck that. So I'm going to reiterate. I would rather go into prison for something that I did by my own hand and will be proud to admit than to have some woman use something like sex as a weapon to hold over my head, to where if I don't bow to what she thinks I should bow to, that she can drop that hammer on me. Thanks, but no thanks. Now, of course, the women started looking at me like, uh-oh, this motherfucker ain't playing. And I said, yeah, if she were to figuratively end my life, because let's be perfectly honest, a false rape accusation for a man is a living death sentence. The internet will never forget. Google that man's name, and guess what? Whether he's exonerated or not, it's still going to come up that he was accused of a sex crime. So yeah, no one's going to take that risk on him. That is a living death sentence. So yeah, to be perfectly honest, and I told him, if I were convicted, if I was falsely accused, not convicted, then yeah, it's hockey mask time. Straight the fuck up. The person who falsely accused me would never know a day's rest. And what needs to happen is when men are falsely accused, they need to go completely nuclear. They need to end that woman's life, because there will be no justice for that man. Even if he's found not guilty, even if he's completely exonerated, what does he get? Nothing. Oh, you know what? Just go about your life. Take it on the chin. Go about your life. No. And more men are going to have to take on this mind state. Period. False accusation means I'm going straight the fuck up frontier justice on you. I'm going street justice. I'm going vigilante justice. I will have my retribution. Fuck justice. There is no such thing as justice anymore. Or should I say, there's no justice for men anymore. The only way that we can get justice is if we take it for ourselves. And that's exactly how I've always felt when it came to false sexual accusations. I will enact my own justice on that person. And then I'll turn myself in. Now, of course, he was like, dude, that is some extreme shit. I said, well, you have to understand, like I explained to you. Extreme accusations have to be met with extreme consequences. Period, point blank. But you got so many men who have been imprisoned falsely, and what do? They get out and they're so mentally broken, they actually thank the same system that threw them away. Nope, that ain't me. It's just not my thoughts on it. It's not how I would do things. So yes, I've internalized that mindset. So, yeah. And of course, the women were looking at me kind of like, ew, this is definitely the type of man I don't want to piss off. But still, the question still stands, gentlemen. When are men going to finally start doing something? The time for talk is over. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And unfortunately, there is going to have to be hockey mask time. Dudes are going to have to start dressing up like Jason and just, doing what needs to be done. Because that is the only way that you're going to send a crystal clear message that false rape or false sex crime allegations will not be tolerated anymore. Examples must be made. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Let me know what you guys think. That's all I got to say for this one. RPM, I am